Thank you.
Okay, bye. Peace out.
Hi, everyone. Make sure you hit the like button as you come in. If you want to share me out, share me out. I am not going to be with you guys long. I do have schoolwork and I have to do some stuff around the house before I leave for tomorrow. So I definitely want to come on here and do this story of this young man that actually, um, he, hey Anastasia, how are you today? Of this little 11-year-old boy that was basically shot by the police, and it's a sad situation. Hey, Rooted in Essential Oils, thank you. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Rooted in Essential Oil and check them out. I gotta come your way, um, famous, but I'll be back. Um, I know
Mommy,
I got stuff I got to do.
mommy,
before I
just
go.
to the
Um,
toddler said.
so yeah, good and relaxing, child. I've been kind of slacking right now, but I'm going to get it together in a minute. Mop and do my bathroom and try to straighten up before I leave and go out of town tomorrow. It's been a busy, busy, busy day. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm trying to do a little schoolwork. You finish all your laundry, child. I got white and my clothes to do. I think I'm gonna just fold Jamel and Jayla clothes and different, different in their different baskets, and then I'll put them up Sunday because I know I ain't gonna do it Saturday. Just have them folded and ready and done. Hey Trisha, how are you today? Um, and try to pack so we can go to the water park on tomorrow. You know, everybody. Hey Reese, how are you? You haven't started laundry. Oh Lord, you better get to it. Like I try to start one or two loads so my Saturday don't be overwhelmed. I start on Friday since I work from home, so it don't be overwhelmed with laundry and cleaning up. I try to keep the house decent, decent, decent all week, so I don't spend my whole Saturday trying to do the whole house. Um, the house is pretty decent. It's decent today. All I gotta do really is mop. Hey Anastasia, I thought I spoke to you, love. How are you? Child, I have washed. I did wash J-Lo and Jamel cover today, and I washed mine last Saturday, and I'll try to get to mine this week, some weekend sometime. Um, yes, make sure y'all subscribe to Famous. Rooted in Essential Oil is famous, so make sure y'all go check out Famous. Okay. Oh well, I thought you spoke to me. You said, "Hey, you woo," and I said, "Hey, Anastasia." But y'all, we do have a story that I want to do tonight, and we're gonna listen to certain clips because Jamel, just throw that away.
Who wants this? Aunties.
Uh,
Somebody's.
I did. Y'all, my head hurts. So, um, but we here to tell the story. We here to tell the story, and so, oh, okay, yeah, that is famous. No, her husband is. I mean, his husband is. Forgot his page. Child, I ain't had nothing, but I got a big drink, and I said I'm gonna drink that before I try. I'm gonna drink half of that, probably drink the whole thing and go to sleep. And get up and try to leave the house by 9 tomorrow, 8:30 tomorrow, 9, and try to make it to Gaza Fall at least by the time it opens, so we can get the weekend started. Um, and try to drive back. I'll try to go live on my way there, y'all, if I have a chance. I may just listen to music, but I know on the way back, you know, yeah, jagged little edge, yeah. Uh, oh, no, they don't even have that stuff, Reese. They don't have that around here. You never know. You never know. You never know. So, yeah, I definitely want to pull up this young man's picture. Um, and I'm gonna read his story. Then, like, y'all, this story. I understand, Trisha. Oh, thank you, Reese. Um, I'm going to share this young man's picture, y'all. His story has been live on the local news, and this happened in Indianola, Mississippi. That's like towards the Delta area, Jackson area in the state of Mississippi. Um, this and we're going to read the story, and we're going to talk about, how senseless this and reckless this cop was, because it could have actually took this young man's life. Um, his name, this young boy's name, um, his name is. Hold on, y'all. I forgot his little name. Um, I can tell today been a day, so we're gonna get it. Hold on. I do know he's 11 years old. Um, let me see. Hold on, y'all. Okay, so this has been on Good Morning America. Let me just read this from this. So then I ain't even doing my computer ain't doing what it's supposed to do. So it says here, this is his name is Adrian Murray. This young man name is Adrian Murray. He is 11 years old. He was shot last early Saturday morning when officers responded to a domestic call at his home. According to a statement from the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation, which is investigating the shooting, as of Tuesday, Murray was in intensive care unit. This was May the 23rd, so this happened this past week at the University Medical Center in Jackson. The family attorney, Carlos Moore, and we're going to get into that, said he was placed on a ventilator because he has a collapsed lung and he has other injury, including fractured rib and a lacerated liver. Now, all from one bullet. Child. And it says, um, information about why the unarmed Murray was shot has not been released, said Moore, who is representing the boy's family and joined them and community members Monday press conference. Murray's mother, Nicola Murray, said police were called to the house because the father of her other child came over and was acting irate. When he acted this way, She knew something could potentially happen and wanted to stop it right there. She snuck her phone to her son and asked him to call her mother and the police. Investigators did not name the Indianola police officer, but Moore said his investigation uncovered that the officer is Greg Capers, who is named the department best officer. Let's see what this is. So this is him yesterday, y'all. He got out the hospital on yesterday. This young man got out the hospital on yesterday. Um, okay. Yeah, he's out the hospital and he's doing well. I'm gonna share the picture of Greg and everything. Yes, this baby, he like this is the picture of this baby. Um, Let me get it up on the screen. So this is he was released from the hospital on yesterday. Um, and let me let y'all listen to the press conferences and stuff like that that I have, so we can see what Carlos Moore had to say. Yes, Lord. Yes, could have killed him. Could have killed that baby. You would have had this baby death on your conscience for the rest of your life because you're damn trigger happy. Hell. And let me just say this. Let me say this, and I might be wrong, and I'm not blaming them up. But let me just say this. Um, and I hope nobody don't take offense to it, but when you are in, please do not, if you know you're dealing with a person that is violent, and don't put your kids in grown folk situations either. I understand he called 911 and that's the right thing to do. But this ain't the first incident problem. And I'm not being mean. Um I'm not being I'm not being none of that. Um but when we know we're in a domestic violence situation, man, you have to, and we shouldn't, um we shouldn't I say, you want to teach your kids to do the right thing, but it's just something. Okay, y'all, let's listen to this press conference because maybe I'm seeing this wrong. Let me see what this press conference is because I know it was wrong from all levels. So let's look at this. This is the press conference that was done. So let's listen. You're right, and that's the thing. Like, I'm not even gonna put that on. That's all on the officers. My bad. I thought about that. That's all on the officer, and he want to be all else. Carlos knows.
If you're out there, please share this. Please share this. Please share this. Please share this. We're waiting for about 20 people to come on for Attorney Carlos Moore's page. Please share this. We got 10. We need about 10 more people. Then we're going to get started. Please share this. Please share this. We are trying to get at least 20 people on before we get started.
Good evening. I'm attorney Carlos Moore. I'm managing partner of the Cotton Firm Pacific Delta. I'm here surrounded by the family, friends, and supporters of 11-year-old Adarian Murray. Little Mr. Murray came within an inch of losing on the
Can y'all hear?
of Saturday morning because of the actions of a cop here in the city of Indianola. The same cop that tased someone in handcuffs with no repercussions is the same cop that almost killed Adarian Murray. I'm here with the family, friends, and supporters of little Mr. Murray, demanding, not requesting, but demanding within 48 hours that the city terminate Greg Capers if, as my investigation revealed, he is the one that shot Adarian Murray in the chest, an unarmed young black man who was simply following his mother at her home and almost died. Little Mr. Murray had to be airlifted to the University of Mississippi Medical Center, where he is fighting for his life in ICU. He suffered a collapsed lung, fractured ribs, a lacerated liver, and the list goes on and on. No citizen, no child in Indianola should be in this terrifying condition because of the actions of someone who's allegedly the best cop in Indianola. If he's your best, Indianola, you need to clean house from top to bottom. I'm calling on the mayor to take this case seriously. I saw his Facebook Live yesterday, and he did a whole lot of laughing, a whole lot of lollygagging. Mayor Featherstone, this is not a laughing matter.
You gotta find him.
This is not a laughing matter. I demand you give the family the respect they deserve. If it was your child or your grandchild, you would not have been laughing. I call on Chief Sampson to come forth, be seen. You got the chief badge? Come out of here and tell the people something. We need you to go because you didn't do anything against against Capers when he first tased that person in handcuffs. You let the man run wild. What are you waiting on?
Someone picture
to actually die? The 11-year-old almost died. By the grace of God, he is alive. By the grace of God. The people of Indianola are not going to wait till somebody dies. We want justice now. We demand justice now. You have 48 hours to terminate the chief and Capers. Capers should have immediately been put on administrative leave. If our demands are not met, starting on Thursday morning, we will occupy City Hall. We will have a sit-in in City Hall starting on Thursday. You have 48 hours, I said. I didn't stutter. I said 48 hours. You got Tuesday and Wednesday to act and do the right thing. And we will start a sit-in at City Hall at 9 a.m. Thursday morning. And I encourage every citizen that believes in justice to come forth and stand and sit with this family until we get some justice. It's usually people that don't look like you shooting unarmed black men. But in the city of Indianola, you got one of your very own, got the same color of skin, shot an 11-year-old unarmed black child, a black boy. And I hadn't seen any remorse. No penance. That was a shame. It stinks to high heaven.
you gotta get some new.
We're here to say time's up. Indianola. Do right and pay the price. It's Indianola. Now it could be Murrayville tomorrow. We're going to make Indianola pay for having this young boy come within an inch of losing his life. We will now join the Board of Aldermen for their meeting. Hopefully
Oh, I
they'll do
got
something
you.
right
Here you
tonight,
go.
but don't hold your breath.
Attorney Moore,
Yes.
have a question.
Okay.
Understand that when officers go off for training, they are trained to shoot to kill. What do you believe the intent of this officer was at the moment when that bullet struck your
That's a stupid
client?
question. Shoot
He
the
shot
kill.
him in single range in the chest. He intended to kill the 11-year-old. He didn't try to injure him. He intended to kill him. And I want to know why. What was so spooky about an 11-year-old that is unarmed?
Understand MBI is doing an investigation. They've called an outside agency in. I've not been able to hear anything from the chief. What do you think MBI will come up with? What do you think the findings will be? And how long will it take for us to hear?
Based on my preliminary investigation, this should not be a justified shooting. This 11-year-old did nothing wrong. And there's no way a trained officer should have feared for his life or the safety of anyone around him when an 11-year-old approaches with no weapon, nothing in his hands.
Is it okay to speak to the mother?
It is okay to speak to the mother.
How is he doing?
He's doing the best he could. Like he stated, he suffered fractures to his rib.
Girl, bring my
His
phone.
lungs collapsed. He's still on
Is the live still on?
oxygen.
Go get
He
my
has a tube in his
look at my
chest
phone.
for fluid. He
Go
got
get my
different
phone.
lacerations, but he's strong.
I understand he's trying to figure out why he was shot. Is that the question that was asked? Because that's what the Mike magazine was told.
He said his words to me was, "Why did he shoot me? What did I do?" And he just started crying.
Yeah, could you give me his full name?
My name is Michaela Murray. I'm Darian Murray's mom.
How traumatic was that event in the moment when it happened?
I can't describe it. Like he ran to me. He was bleeding.
Mm,
I held him. I
mm.
held his wound. It bled out the mouth. Every time I close my eyes, I see it.
I understand he's a scholar.
This is sister signs in the yard.
Those are his sister signs. Now I understand he was being obedient and doing what he was told
Yep.
at the moment. Did the gunfire happen inside of the home or outside of the home?
The officers never came all the way inside of the home. They stayed in the frame of the door on the outside. The light was on. He came. Anyone in the house. If you ask if anyone in the house come out with your hands up, your first instinct when telling someone that is not to shoot soon as someone comes out. Like it's sad. And
You walk us through what happened in that moment.
well, in that moment, I heard the cops at the door. I just started right there. They were beating, knocking on the door. I was trying to go to the door. They started kicking the door to tear it down. My mom, she rolled up. She saw them turning around, the cop turning around, kicking the door with his feet.
Who called the police?
I had my son to call. In fact, my son was in his room, so no one knew he was up but me.
Okay.
So I gave him the phone. I asked him to call my mom, but I told them in incident to call my mom, call the police. So he was doing what he was told.
This
So
is
when he
Darian.
called Darian, when he called the police, he did let them know. They asked did he have a gun. Anyone did he have a gun? And he said no. The guy didn't have a gun. When I opened the door and they told me to put my hands up, they asked did he have a gun. I said no, he did not have a gun.
Was your life at jeopardy at that moment? At that moment, were you in fear of your life when the police was there?
They were so aggressive. I mean, they were like I was the one they were looking for. So I was everything. It was just so fast.
question. What were they responding to?
Like I stated, so my child's father, not a Darius, came over and he knocked on my window. I went to open the door, but when I opened the door, I noticed he was irate. So
Hold on
by
a
that
minute.
time he was in the living
Now,
room, never left the living room. But when
I'm
he
gonna
was
let you play.
irate,
I
I
got
know
something
what
I got to
happened
say.
after him being irate. So that's when
Mm-mm.
I snuck my little boy his phone and I asked him, call my mom, let him
I
know
got something I got to say.
he's over here.
But did your child's father bring any bodily harm to you at the moment?
No, we
Okay.
was arguing. Like I stated, I know how it can be when he's
So if he
being
was
irate.
walking,
So I
how the
just
hell
had to
he get
stop
in the
right
house?
there. So
What time of morning was this?
this
What
was
was
like 4 a.m.
the visibility was low?
This could all been avoided.
No,
Was it dark?
Was the sun?
no, the living room light was on. I'm not sure my outside light. Like I stated, was right there. He never came in the house. He stayed at the entrance of the door. When he was hollering in to come out, he never.
After your son was shot, what did the officer say to you?
Well, I was holding my son, trying to keep the blood, like I see, like I know, and he was like, telling me to move my hand. I don't know if he was trying to hold it, but I know he was telling me to move my hand, and I didn't move my hand. So my mom thought that my child's father shot him. The police was like, no, I shot him. He was there. He's like, no, it was me. I said, like, what? Why did you? I thought he was somebody else. I thought he was. And those were his words.
What was the demeanor of the officer after?
He was. I really wasn't paying attention to him, just to be honest. I was focused on my son.
What was your child doing at the time they shot him?
When he shot him or while he was shot?
What was your son doing when they shot him?
So when they shot him, he was coming out of his room, coming in the living room to go out the door. That's when they shot him. He never stopped running. So
what did he have in his hand? Anything?
Nothing. He had nothing in his hand.
So he was apparently no threat.
No
If I were to see him, would I think that he was going to hurt me?
No, he's this little. He's so yellow, and so he ain't gonna. You wouldn't think that. I don't know what was on the officer's mind at the time.
Attorney Moore, have you heard anything from the city or the chief?
I have not. Not one word.
Do you expect the mother? You have not heard anything from anyone on the city level or even the chief of police?
I haven't heard anything from anyone. When I seen the mayor went live and he said they reached out or something was like that, and they took the live. So I was like, no one. I inboxed him. I was like, no one reached out to me.
He also said Attorney Kimberly Merchant will contact the family's attorney. Attorney Merchant, I have not been contacted. I am Attorney Carlos Moore, and I'm waiting on your call.
I was going to ask you, are you representing the family?
I am representing the family, yes.
You're representing
Exactly.
Franklin as well, is that correct?
That's a different case.
I'm here about Darian Murray at this point.
Mom, what is it that you want to see come out of this? What's the resolution that you would like to see?
This can't keep happening. This cannot keep happening. This is not okay. It's as if a non-police officer was to shoot somebody. It's not okay. It's not okay when they do it. It's not okay when the police do it. They have protocol. He was trained. He knows what to do. Like if you were scared, you can't. You in the wrong field. Like if that's what's caused you to shoot, you was in the wrong field. Like just needs to be done. Like this stuff cannot keep happening. My baby almost lost his
We need
life. He
a
don't
lot of damn
understand.
video.
I don't understand. Like it was scary. It's traumatic. My daughter was in the house as well. My 3-year-old nephew stayed with me as well. It could have been him running around the corner. He couldn't have took that bullet. Like this can't keep happening, y'all.
Attorney Moore.
I see white cops, black cops, but this is black on black. Like you get the badge and you get a power. You feel like you got a sense of power. Like you could be a bully. It don't work like this. Like you're here to protect and serve us.
You shouldn't have never
We
let that
felt
damn
like
man
we
in the
were
house.
protected.
Yeah.
We felt like
Yeah.
victims. I felt like
Y'all, I got something I got to damn
I
say.
feel protected.
I don't care if anybody can feel the way they want to feel, but I
We're
got to
calling on
say.
the district attorney to look at this for criminal charges. This man not only deserves to be terminated, but he needs to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. So I'm calling on the local prosecutor, the district attorney for Sunflower County, investigate this man, present it to a grand jury, and see if the grand jurors return an indictment.
Attorney Moore,
Assault and battery.
do you know for a fact if he has been relieved of his duty, if he's been sent home, if he's on desk duty, if they told him just wait a while, go on vacation? I mean, what do you know as it relates to what has happened to the officer?
As I've stated time and time again, the mayor, nor the chief of police, nor the city attorney have, either one of them has not contacted me. So I do not know the current status. I assume he's still on the payroll paid by the taxpayers. You're paying this man who almost killed somebody.
Okay, one more question from me. I want to go back. So, I know IPD is usually equipped with body cams. Did you identify a body cam when anybody responded to your home?
I didn't see anything. Like I said, I wasn't paying. He was irate. I mean, no, he was. Come out with your. That's the way. If he had a body cam, then they saw all of it. They saw everything. They saw how he never went in the house. How he stopped right there. They saw. If he had a body cam like they were supposed to, then they saw everything.
So, Attorney Moore, you're calling for body cam footage, is that correct?
We want it released. We want it released within the next 48 hours.
What about home footage? Is your home, do you have any Ring doorbells or any cameras, neighbors?
But I don't know how far their cameras reach. I did reach out to an employee, but I was in Jackson at the time, so I said I was going to come and ask them, go to the store. But
we're asking anyone that has footage to preserve the footage. We want a copy of it. Double quick to anyone in that neighborhood.
There was only one shot fired.
One shot.
And that shot that struck your son. Was there anything said to your son prior to the shooting in terms of the officer telling the son to remain still or don't come near?
He came from around the corner and it was instant. It was instantly. He wouldn't know if it was a man, boy, pig, or cow. He wouldn't know because he shot so fast.
Did he ever call for the paramedics that you know of? Who called for the ambulance?
He did. Him or his partner. I know I heard them calling. So,
Kelly, do you remember if this gun was already was it holstered when you came around the corner? Did he?
It was already out in the corner.
You know for a fact his gun was out.
Yeah.
What about his partner?
We have to talk about that, Reese.
I can't recall. Wait. I think hers, but she was telling me move. She the one told me to get out the way. Go back. So I just.
What did the officers do in the immediate aftermath of the shooting? They immediately went from the first aid.
I was there. I was down there. I was holding her. I held her the wound. I made sure blood didn't come out. After the fact, he got down there with me as well, and I was talking to him, making sure he was
stay conscious.
Because I know it looks something. So I went in like. I know he didn't try to do. He was just down there. I was holding him. Then he came down. He told me.
Motherly instinct.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna move. He told me to move, but I didn't want to move because the blood was just coming out.
So none of this makes any sense. You have a mother who called the police because one of her children's dad was irate, and she was afraid and feared that he could harm her or her children. So she called the police. The word got to the police that the man was unarmed. He did not have a gun. So why are you coming with your guns blazing to the house? The police created a ruckus. They created a ruckus. And then you heard her state that the police said, if anyone's in the house, come out with your hands up. So the boy comes around the corner unarmed. If he's coming out with his hands up, or however they were, why do you haul off and shoot him? So this makes no sense. This man, Capers, is an ever-present threat to the citizens of Indianola's safety. He has to go. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. He has to go.
Can I speak to NAACP President? Motley, Mr. Charles Motley, I understand that you're here today. What has been your experience with the chief of police in the city of Indianola?
Well, you can have some more than easily impressive.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of merchants and citizens really don't know a lot about him.
Mm-hmm.
But shooting an 11-year-old in the chest early Saturday morning is pretty severe.
Mm-hmm.
And so it should resonate throughout the community. It should send shockwaves throughout the community. And we asking all the community to come out on Thursday morning and support this effort to get some of these police officers terminated, and even Chief Sampson as well. So shooting an 11-year-old, you can't even fathom it. You can't contemplate how
Okay,
that
I'm
happened.
over here.
So
Okay, y'all, that's it. That's all. Right there. Okay, so okay, all right, y'all. So anyway, now my first question. Now, the first question I do have is: did the dude go to jail? I got to know. Did the dude go to jail that caused the disturbance? Second of all, did I hear the mama straight when she said she snuck her son her phone because the baby daddy came knocking on her window? But my thing is, if you didn't want to deal with it and he did, and he came with some mess, why would you want the son to call 911? Why couldn't you? Now I'm not taking away that it was wrong for him to be shooting, but I am. Y'all know me. Y'all know me. Y'all know me. Y'all know me. We ain't. I. You know what I'm saying? Yes, we supposed to. You know, but did I hear the mama correct? He was banging on the window. So my thing is, if this is your home, why would and I hope she know this, cause now the police officer definitely needs to be fired and taken off the force for shooting the child, especially if he told them, you know, come out with your hands up. So if you say come out with your hands up, that means that if everybody's coming out, there's no imminent threat. If the boy came out running, he must have got seen. He seen the boy running with a phone in his hand, and he thought, like Reese said, thought it was a gun or something, and he shot the boy. But if you don't see him come out, he. It was an accident, but he definitely has to go. They probably gonna put him on retirement early. Um, you said that's her story. And I know that, you know what I'm saying, people may not agree with my reasoning for, you know, feeling the way that I feel. It doesn't take away from his story, but I want to know, did this dude go to jail? Did the police officer, or was he gone by the time the police got there? Because ain't no way somebody knocking on your window door and you take the phone to your son unless you had this man in the house and then you and him was fucking. Or y'all was arguing. And it became a domestic dispute. Something in the milk in that story ain't clean. And she needs to get that damn story together. Because if I can pick holes through her story, what you think going to happen when the city of Indianola get an attorney, a defense lawyer, because she's gonna sue him, right? She's gonna sue him for the wrongful But you think the city they gonna fight to not pay her that money for shooting her son? Even though the cop is wrong. But they gonna poke holes in her story. Get ready for that. And I feel like, in a lot of, and I'm sorry, she gonna have to come up with a better story. What happened to him was wrong. The police, what time was it? It was like, didn't they say it was like morning time, early morning time? Let's listen to. I um I did the I think it's the captain or the whoever this is. I did find the mayor Featherstone's post from May 21st of 2020. And he did a 15-minute live and he had some angry face. And it said, listen to what the mayor had to say. Hey, Chris. Ben Crump ain't getting this baby. This Carlos Moore. Moore is another Ben Crump. He's a judge and he's very prestigious here in Mississippi. He tried a case here in my town. Exactly. Mine won't either, Trisha. But I'm seeing your comments now. Let's listen to what he got to say.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to From the Mayor's Desk. Got a couple of minutes before we go live, before we get started. We're already live. Thank y'all all for coming out. Take this time to let everybody, all of our viewers, come on in. Thank you so much.
You worry about who looking
Thank
at the live.
y'all so much. See my lovely wife, Cheryl. Hey, baby. How you doing? Good to see you. We've got about 3 minutes before we get started, ladies and gentlemen. DeAnthony Campbell, thanks for joining us. Chris Neeson, thanks for joining us. Mrs. Leota Brown, thank you for joining us. Thank y'all. Jessica Butler, thank you so much for joining us. Doing great, Chris. Doing great. Thank you for all you do, man. Thank you for your support. Again, we got about 2 minutes and change before we get started. Grin, how you doing, man? Grin say you sure was talking to you. Oh man, you're funny. Tracy Willis, thank you so much for joining us.
This is the mayor, Featherstone.
Thank y'all so much. At this time, before we get started, Cheryl, if you can, just give me an indication that our audio and our sound is really good. Just want to make certain that y'all are able to hear me. Latoya Rush, how are you? Great to see you. Great to see you. Thanks for tuning in.
No commentary.
Ashley, thank you for tuning in. If I could get an indication from someone about our audio, how's the sound? Can you hear me loud and clear? Fanny, how you doing? Brandis, good to see you. Thank you for responding for the sound. Cheryl, thank you for responding. Troy Brown, good to see you, brother. Yep, yep.
Did he not?
Thank you for tuning in, Troy. Thank y'all so much. We got a couple of seconds left here before we get started. Dr. Adrian Brown, good to see you, Q. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Angela, for letting me know that the audio is good. Thank y'all so much. Brother Ray, thanks. Good to see you, Q. Good. Thank you for tuning in. We've got a couple of seconds before we get started. We're going to start promptly at 6 o'clock p.m. Thank y'all so much. We got some things that we want to cover and update you on the occurrences that are happening here in the city of Indianola. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. AJ, good to see you, Q. Thank you for tuning in. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is 6 o'clock. Thank you for joining another segment of From the Mayor's Desk. I am Mayor Ken Featherstone here in Indianola, Mississippi. Thank you all for joining in and tuning in. Thank you always for your continued support. Got a couple of things that we want to talk about. Chief among them is yesterday's shooting. As a lot of you know, we did have an officer shooting. There was an 11-year-old male that was struck by a bullet during one of our calls. Indianola police responded to a call early Saturday morning. During that call, the officer's weapon was discharged. There was a young man that was struck. That young man was airlifted from Indianola down to Jackson to be treated for his injuries. And from what I understand, the young man is stable right now. We're still trying to get updates on his condition. In regards to this situation, I just want to let all of our citizens know that there is a protocol for police shootings. And the city of Indianola is following that protocol. Unfortunately, there are police shootings from coast to coast in our country, unfortunately. So with that in mind, there's a framework that's in place in terms of how we manage these kinds of crises. And we're going to refer to that protocol and follow everything by the T. So you may be asking the question, well, what can we expect from city government? Well, you can expect one thing is you will have transparency in city government. There's no effort, concerted effort to cover up anything at all. We are an open book. We just want to let everybody know that we plan to be as open as we can be. Right now, starting yesterday, we are fully cooperating with the MBI. The Mississippi Bureau of Investigation is in town. There's an agent that I met with, the chief and I met with on yesterday morning. He is diligently working on this case. And we're giving him full autonomy to do everything that he can do to do the best job he can do. We cannot investigate our own, which is the reason why they're here. Any police agency involved in a shooting, it is imperative that we have an impartial party, unbiased party to look at and investigate that whole case, which is the reason why MBI is here. Indianola Police Department doesn't have its internal affairs division. We don't have guarantee hearings for our officers in instances like this where there are shootings. So MBI is serving for that in that capacity for us. We've even tried to reach out to the victim's family, and prior to doing that, we wanted to know if we had authorization through MBI, and their recommendation to us, the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation, is for us to have our city attorney, who is Attorney Kimberly Merchant, to reach out to their attorney and to find out. And after our city attorney does that, she'll report back to us. So that's how we're going to handle that. Again, we're doing things by the book, nothing up our sleeves. We want to be as transparent in these kinds of situations as we absolutely can be. It's very important that you hear from City Hall in tragic instances like this. This is something that I was very critical of the previous administration for not doing. When there are tragic situations, you rarely hear from City Hall. So it's very important that I be very vocal in instances where there are fatalities, fatal shootings, officer-related shootings, and you can hear from me at all times. Our citizens need to hear from their elected officials. So absolutely, that's something you can count on this administration for doing. Next thing I want to pivot and talk about is it's graduation season, ladies and gentlemen. And congratulations to our graduating class of 2023, all of our high schoolers from Indianola Academy, Gentry High School, Ram Nation.
You gonna breathe through something negative? Sir. Now you breeze through you breeze through that, and you see when he mentioned the high school graduating class, he went and when he mentioned the high school graduation, full of shit. You said it quicker than me, Chris. You said it quicker than me. And I'm like, he didn't know what to say, and he knew he had to say something, but he didn't know what to say. They should just let him read off a piece of paper, or have the notes up saying, say this, because child, let's see. Now, this story done made it all the way to CNN, y'all. CNN. This done made it all the way to CNN. So let me play the CNN video. I don't know how it made it to CNN, but it made it, and I'm gonna play it. But he didn't say, and when he's talking about the graduation. Oh, sleepy.
My eyes. How did this happen?
Yeah, I just spoke to the attorney for the family, Carlos Moore, and he tells me he's raising new questions as to how this mistake could have happened, how this police officer could have made this nearly tragic, fatal mistake, I should say. This young child, just 4 feet 10 inches tall. The domestic disturbance was the reason why the officers showed up. The mother of the child, Nicaila Murray, telling me that the father of another one of her children showed up at the home. He was irate. She was scared for her life, so she snuck a cell phone to Adarian to call 911, and that's exactly what he did to try to get help for his mother. And the responding officer showed up, ordered everyone out of the home. Adarian did just that, and according to his mom, Adarian came around a hallway into the living room, and that's when an officer opened fire, shooting him once in the chest. He suffered a lacerated liver, fractured ribs, he developed a collapsed lung. He was in the intensive care unit for days before eventually being released yesterday. The mother telling me that this all unfolded, or seemed to unfold, in about 1 to 2 minutes. Listen to the attorney who I just spoke to talk about the gun violence of Black people in this country and just how Adarian did everything right and yet was still shot by the responding officer.
This young Black boy did everything right. I mean, everything right. He's a good student. He obeyed his mom. So request for him to call the police for her assistance. He called the police and his grandmother. And then when the officer showed up and said, come out, with your hands up, he obeyed the officer's request, and he still get shot. Can any black person, boy or man, in America get justice? Can they live a free and a quality life without being assaulted by people sworn to protect and serve? It has to stop. We need common sense legislation, and we need to hold these officers accountable. Until they are held accountable, they will continue to do this. They cannot get away with it with impunity anymore. It has to stop, and it will end in Indianola in this case.
Issa, it's very important to note that this was captured on body camera. We've called police repeatedly. They've not gotten back to us, but the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation has taken over this investigation. They say that body camera will not be released until the investigation is complete. The family says they haven't seen it. As for the officer, who's been identified as Officer Greg Capers, on Monday evening, he was put on administrative leave, paid administrative leave by the local city council. Of course, the family, they want justice. They say this officer should be fired and charged as well. Issa?
The mood then in the community, I mean, often when we see things like this happening, you can see an uproar, you see protests. What is the mood like?
This is a very small community. The police department has less than 10 officers, if that gives you any indication. It's predominantly black community, very impoverished. They had a protest today at the Indianola City Hall. Just about half a dozen or about a dozen people showed up at that, but that was a crowd for them. You know, this is a very small town, about 100 miles outside of Jackson, Mississippi, the capital, which is also another small town in the southeast. But, you know, it's really resonating throughout the nation here. This is just another example of in this case, a black boy being shot by a police officer who he called to get help from, only to be shot by the responding officer. I mean, the detail of that, it's not lost on any of us telling the story.
Indeed. Nick Valencia, I know, stay on Cross the Vet. Thanks very much, Nick. Appreciate it.
All right, y'all. So before we go, because I got stuff I got to do, and I just want to come in here for a little while. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about, the officer? This what I want to know. Did his ass go to jail? Because if he would have never came, this would have never happened. So have y'all detained this person? Or is he on the run still and can still come over there raising hell? And here go another child trying to call the police. Or has the police been over there several times due to domestic violence and you still letting this man beat your ass? No. You still letting this man come over there knowing that he's violent and around your children. Well, the truth gonna come out, because I just can't believe her saying he can't knock it on her window. If he was calling, knocking on the window, and you know that he came over there and he was disturbing the peace, wouldn't you call the police? Unless he was in the house. There's more to this story, and I need to hear it. The little boy name is Adarian Murray. So we'll see how this pans out. I'm thinking that. But we're going to see how this plays out. Because you think they finna just let you just tarnish this man? And then, you know what I'm saying? If he didn't arrest the man, something ain't right. Man done ran or something. Anyway, y'all. About an hour in. I'll be live on tomorrow, y'all. I'll probably go live from the place for a little while. Y'all might give me live like 2 or 3 times this week. Tomorrow. Maybe 1 or 2 times. How many? I say on the way back, just to have some, y'all just listen to music with me, and I'll end that live and delete that live. So I can just get back home. And I might go live when we eat lunch or something at the water park. Jayla want to vlog it, so y'all just may get a vlog of me and the kids at the water park. I'm gonna get on out of here. So make sure you hit the like button on the way out. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. And y'all have a good night. Peace.